New today, Governor Kathy Hochul was in Rochester to talk about what's in the recently passed state budget that should benefit our region. The governor highlighted the $75 million in state funding that will be used to help create the High Falls State Park, which we've previously reported on. There's also $225 million in that budget that will go toward the development of the surrounding neighborhoods. Money, she says, can be used for ESL Ballpark, economic development, housing, and public safety. The city of Rochester is also getting $35 million to help with staffing and anti-poverty programs. News 10 NBC investigative reporter Jennifer Lukey was at the governor's event today and wanted to go in depth about the skyrocketing costs that we're all paying to keep the lights on and what the governor plans to do about it.
The governor spoke to a room full of her supporters here at MCC today, talking about all the ways she says that she's trying to look out for New Yorkers and your bottom line. But one of the biggest issues we hear from all of you is the rising cost of energy. So I wanted to speak further with her about that after the event.
The state budget includes what the governor calls energy rebate checks. Families making less than $300,000 a year will get somewhere between $150 and $200. Single people making less than $150,000 will get $100.
Most people you talk to in the community will say, thanks for the $100, but we have had to deal with astronomical increases on the supply and the delivery of energy, and that doesn't go very far.
It was $1 billion we decided to dedicate from the budget, which is quite substantial, but also to, just as I found we've done rebates before and support for families, people are happy to have anything and know that contrary to what's happening in Washington, where they have less money in their pockets because of the high cost of gasoline, at least 50% higher than it was in January before the war with Iran started, they see a very different approach with New York. We're trying to make life easier for people, not harder.
At the same time this announcement came about the rebate checks, we also got word from the Public Service Commission that they have agreed to allow RG&E and NYSEG to raise their rates temporarily while they work on an even bigger rate case, which is likely to bring even higher rates. What else can you and the state legislature do to help people afford their energy bills?
Right. Well, the original increase was 33% they asked for. We said, no, we're taking a step back here. We need to spend some time analyzing this, but clearly it'll never be in that realm, not even close. I'm trying to do an all-the-above approach here in the state of New York to get us more supply. That includes doing nuclear in upstate New York, where it is welcome. More supply will drive down the costs.
Governor, the legislature approved a one-year moratorium on data centers. Where do you stand on that? Is that something you plan to sign?
I think any data center that's here has to cover the cost of their own energy. We just talked about the high cost of energies. It's not fair to ratepayers in our state. They have to have a higher cost because of a data center coming in. So even before the talk of a moratorium, I had put this out there saying, no, we're not letting this happen. And so I will look closely at that bill, but also we were talking about this long before then.
The governor's energy rebate checks will start being mailed to eligible New Yorkers in September, and then they'll come out in waves as the weeks follow. Most New Yorkers should have them in hand just before Election Day. At MCC, Jennifer Lukey, News 10 NBC.
Jen covering a lot of ground there, and you can see more of Jen's interview with the governor at WHEC.com or on her Facebook page.